We're trying something new here on Real World Test Drive. In addition to our traditional car reviews, we're doing news updates. Make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and let us know what you think. In today's episode, Bentley has released its sales figures and the numbers are stunning. In a year that saw a global pandemic, social unrest, political uncertainty, and a deep economic shock, Bentley sales have reached a new record. The 101-year-old British manufacturer of six-figure ultra-luxury and performance vehicles sold 11,206 units in 2020. That's a record, and it's particularly stunning for a company that uses a fork and hand stitching for every leather steering wheel.
Way of doing it, and we actually use a fork. A lot of people are surprised that we use a fork, but we've found it's the best way of giving us the four equidistant points, and the simplest way is sometimes the best way. And then we hand sew it. Now what we do nowadays, we train people just to hand sew it, because the hard part, the skill part, is getting to that stage. And the way we train them to do that, they take one needle and they go all the way along and they come back to make the cross. Bentley always use a cross stitch. Different manufacturers have different stitch patterns, but Bentley always use a cross stitch.
Bentley is also a company that has committed to craftsmanship, luxury, performance, and also sustainability.
Our mission now is to make our total enterprise carbon neutral and the factory carbon positive, i.e. absorb more or offset more than we actually create. Our cars in the future will look as inspirational and as glorious as they do today. And whilst we're already very proud of their improvements in CO2 and the sustainability of the woods and the leathers and all the materials we use, we're going to remove any question mark from all of those future products, because now the technology and the traceability is possible. It wasn't 10 years ago. So we're on a mission.
While the 2020 sales numbers were lower than the original Bentley forecast, it's worth noting that record sales happened despite COVID lockdowns and a temporary production halt due to the virus. The Bentley sales numbers were particularly high in the Americas and China. 2020 sales growth in China was a stunning 48%. Bentley CEO Adrian Hallmark says he is cautiously optimistic as Bentley introduces 9 new models in 2021, including their first hybrid SUV. Hallmark says it's part of Bentley's journey toward becoming a fully electrified car company by 2030.
We want to create a carbon neutral company end to end by 2030. We'll make sure that the products from 2026, everything we offer will be electrified, only electrified, either plug-in hybrid with a credible range or a BEV. And by 2030, no more combustion engines. I'll just repeat that. A 100-year-old company that's renowned for the best 12-cylinder and most successful 12-cylinder in the world will not be building engines in less than a decade. This is profound change for the industry, and we want to lead that change. We're not frightened by it, we're inspired by it. So all of this wrapped together is what we call Beyond 100. That's the core of our strategy. And the most important thing is not to just make electric cars. It's just not just to make sustainable cars. We've got to make Bentleys. And we've got to take that 100 years of DNA and transfer that into a modern context through design, through content, but we'll make sure we maintain all the wonderful things that people buy in our brand. The craftsmanship, the potent design, the effortless performance, and that total feeling of being in something extraordinary, magical, on an everyday basis, which only Bentley offers the way we do.
In addition to stunning designs with a modern aesthetic that doesn't insult its heritage, I think there's another reason Bentley is doing so well right now. Comfort. Not just the comfort of its vehicles, but the comfort of buying something consumers, albeit well-heeled consumers, can enjoy on a daily basis without worrying about the virus. A doctor friend of mine just purchased a classic convertible, a well-preserved version of the ragtop he had in high school and college. He said he's been caring for so many sick and dying people during this pandemic, and he's been talking about how much he missed his old muscle car for the past 40 years. He figured now is the perfect time for the expenditure. Tomorrow isn't promised, and he said driving the car of his youth just makes him feel better, even if it's not a Bentley. If you're enjoying these updates, please subscribe to us on YouTube and make sure to follow me on Twitter at Grant Winter. For Real World Test Drive, I'm Grant Winter reporting from the Jersey Shore.